Joining us right now from FC London, victorious head coach Mario Despotovic. Mario, welcome, my friend.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure's all mine, Mario. Let's talk about it. Yesterday, you guys come out on top, and you're getting ready to take on Vaughan in a couple weeks or less. What a game it was. It was 1-0 for a very long time, and then you guys completely opened it up on a very talented young Sigma squad. Talk about it.
Yeah, so the Sigma squad is really young, and we looked at all of their games, and I think Bobby, the coach, they made a really good job. We had a clear plan for the game, and we decided just to let Sigma build up more the game, and then in the second half we changed a little bit our tactics to press them more and higher after they lost a little bit of their conditioning, and it worked pretty well. And I think in the end 5-0 was a little bit too high, but the win was deserved, I think.
Mario, throughout the season, whether it was game one or this game yesterday, you play a possession style of game. You play a more controlled type of game that I've seen, and you're not afraid to go toe-to-toe offensively with anyone out there. Was that the mentality you wanted to instill in your team before the season started?
Yes, you have to know that I'm educated in Croatia for Dinamo Zagreb and from the Dutch system. Raymond Vaughan is one of my mentors, and we like to dominate the game in everything. We like to keep possession. We like to dominate in offense, in defense, and this positional play. We wanna make the opponent that he has to make decisions how to solve our problems in offense and defense, and this is why I love it so much. I don't want to just sit back in the defense and waiting and react to the opponent. And when I explained this to my players, they immediately fall in love with it. And from the first day of preparation, we started working on our playing style. And I think we developed it so far really good.
And so, Mario, what you're saying there to me is very important, very key. Whether it's at your level, whether it's at lower levels for coaches to listen, is each and every player has to buy into your plan. Every player has to buy into what you want them to do, or else it is not going to work throughout the season. Correct?
It's correct, but you have to know that sometimes coaches think they are the smartest by far, but you have players which understand the game actually really well, but nobody ever asks them questions or let them talk. So sometimes I even ask my players, guys, what do you think? What are the problems on the pitch? What do you think? What are we doing really well? What should we emphasize even more on? And they have sometimes really good answers. And later, when you think about it, then you can implement also their vision into the game. And so everybody is involved, and we develop together as a whole team. I think the times when the coach is just standing there like a general telling them what to do, they're over. So now when you have top players and top stars like we have in Europe, you have to implement them into the playing style. Otherwise, you will just lose your dressing room.
And I'm glad you said that, Mario. That's refreshing in 2016 that you are talking like this because, Mario, let's be honest. I can go way back, as you mentioned, Croatia, to the old Yugoslavia where they were considered the Brazilians of Europe. I can think of, the Brazilians of South America and their coaches. And they were, as you mentioned, very old, rigid, robotic. The coach was the boss. I don't care what the players say, no matter what. Today, it's different. And as you explained it, it's vital, the communication aspect, as you said, to talk to your players, to get some input. And that I believe personally will go a lot farther for you as a coach and as the team in results.
Yes, you have to know that in the old days, the coaches deserved their respect from players by giving them punishments, or they have been a little bit tough on them. But today you can just earn disrespect if you have knowledge. So that means I don't talk to my players in terms, let's go out there, guys, and fight, let's give me everything. This is nonsense. They don't know what you're talking about. If you tell them concentrate, they don't know what you mean. But if you tell them, look, I want you to cut off this passing line, I want you to press the guys in this half space, that's a trigger point for, are you free to jump out and press them? Then everybody knows what I'm talking about. And then they start listening to you because you're actually talking about the game in an objective way. And this is just how we communicate, and this is what we changed in the coaching education in Croatia or in the Netherlands. And then it's much clearer and precise, and the message gets really quick across. We have a universal action language, and this is what I like. And I think during this year, the players, they just love it, and it's super easy with them to communicate.
Mario, let's talk about the great city of London, the support you got, the wonderful facility you played at, and the unbelievable management and ownership group you have. Talk about the wonderful first year in League One Ontario.
The first year was, it's amazing. The challenge which we had as a new club in this league, the support from the president, my assistant coach, everybody in town is amazing. Whatever wish I had in terms of training times, equipment, they told me, whatever you need, you just do your job. I told them I will do my job. And we work together as a team really well. I think there is a lot of space for improvement. We need a little bit more support also from the city. We need to establish ourselves as a top club in this region over here and get the full support of the whole city of London. And then I think we can go even one step further. And that means getting bigger crowd of fans over there that they enjoy the game even more, and to develop the young players in the academies even more, because this is the future. If you don't invest now in the players which will be here in 10 years, then you're not doing your job right.
Let's be honest, Mario. Let's put the cards on the table, because I think you know how I talk to people. I'm straight up and I shoot right to the hip. To be honest, when you came into this league, did you think that it would be this competitive, or did you think that you were going to come in here with your club and just sail each and every game and you wouldn't have issues?
I thought with the players which came out for the tryouts in the beginning, we had no team at nothing. I didn't have any opinion. I just told everybody, look, let's select the best ones. Let's go into the preseason. Let's do the 6-7 weeks as good as we can, give everything, and then we will see where we land. So I don't judge just before anything. I wanted to see the coaches. I wanted to see the league. But now, after one season, I think that we did an amazing job. So I think that nobody expected this, but I think we have a lot of space to improve. So if the players continue to train like this, I think we'll play even better.
You mentioned Sigma. We know that they've got plenty of talent coming out and going down to the NCAA schools. We know that Kyle Larn came out of there from Orlando City, Richie Laria, on and on. But you also, Mario, and I saw your team that really didn't have a very good game a couple of weeks ago against TFC Academy, with some youngsters, 15 years old, 16 years old, playing like men. Talk about these two young teams, Sigma and Toronto FC.
You have to see that Sigma is, in my opinion, from the academies who played, and they are the best academy, how far they're organized. They have a clear structure, and the coach, Bobby, he is just investing a lot of time in his education, and this is the key. If you as a young coach don't want to learn anymore, then you just stop moving forward. You're just going backwards. Toronto FC is doing a good job. They select the best players around. This is the same what we had at Dinamo Zagreb. They have the top talent, but now they have to gradually give the players stronger problems on the pitch that the kids can solve. They have to make more complex training sessions. They have to give them more complex competitions, and I think they're on a good way. I saw how they play. It was this game which we lost against them was not fair, because we lost half of our team, but in the beginning of the season we won against them. But I think altogether these two teams are doing a good job, but I think there is still a lot of space to improve for them. I just want them to focus on soccer and on the basic stuff. They should talk about the game and not about specialists from the outside world that just want to change something with different isolated training sessions. They should focus on the game, and the game will never change as the rules are the same. We just have to improve the players and solving the complex problems on the pitch better.
Well said, Mario. As we let you go, let's tee it up. You're taking on Vaughan, as we mentioned, and the winner of that will go on to face the Quebec counterpart. What are you expecting from this Vaughan squad? You know that they're a veteran team led by head coach Carmen Isacco, no stranger to Canada and League One Ontario. And this, I believe, will be a real man's game. We're talking about guys that have been around many different leagues and have played some real important games. What are you expecting?
We are excited to play this game, this kind of games. This is what we train for. We want to play this game to prepare for this finals, and this is what makes us better. I just know that our players will give everything, and they will die on the pitch, and then in the end, if it's enough to win the title, we will be super happy. If it's not enough, but we give everything, we will be fine. So this is all we have to say about this game.
Well said. And as we close it out, I asked Lamar Nagel of DC United. I'll ask you. I asked Thomas Rongen as well. What's the advice you want to give out there to the youngsters? We know that you come from Europe, where you live and breathe the game 24 hours, 7 days a week, like they do here for hockey. But what do you want to say to the youngsters that really would want to have a dream one day to play professional soccer? Whether in MLS, whether in Europe, South America, wherever, what in your mind are the 3 key steps they need to work on?
I think that commitment is the most important part. So you have to say that football is your life. You have to be a fanatic about this. So there is no second thought. If you have anything else to do or soccer, you have to choose soccer. So during this development phase, this is the most important part. And if you do everything right in this, you have a good chance that you will succeed. In Canada, you have even a bigger chance than you have in Europe, because this professional league which is coming, this is a great path for young players. And I think they should take this opportunity and don't treat soccer like a hobby. They should really treat it like a passion. This is what I think is the most important part.
Well said. Mario, congratulations again. Good luck against Vaughan in a couple weeks' time. And again, what a season it has been for you, for your club in the City of London. Mario, thanks again, my friend.
Thank you very much.